When you pet your cat music, do you actually know if they like it? Yes, they let you do it, but tolerating your touch and enjoying it aren't the same thing. The way most owners pet their music cats is silently teaching them to pull away. And if you keep doing it, which most owners do, you might be slowly turning yourself into something your cat braces for instead of leans into. Let's start with the first mistake. One, that spot above their tail is a trap. Ever notice how your cat lifts their back-end music? The second your hand gets near their lower spine, you take it as a green light. They love it, they're basically begging for more, so you keep scratching right above the tail, and for a few seconds it really does look like pure bliss. Then out of nowhere the tail starts twitching. The skin ripples, music, they spin around and bite your hand, and you're left wondering what you did wrong. Here's what's actually music happening. That patch of skin right above the tail is one of the most nerve-dense areas on your cat's entire body. When you scratch it, you're not just delivering a nice sensation, you're firing off a flood of signals their music, nervous system has to process all at once. For the first few seconds it feels good. Past that, it tips into something called petting-induced overstimulation. And their brain literally cannot tell the difference between pleasure and threat anymore. The bite isn't aggression, it's their nervous system short-circuiting, and the elevator music butt thing, that's not scratch me here forever, it's a reflex. Kittens lift their hind quarters when their mother grooms them, it's wired in before they ever meet you. So when your cat raises up, they're not requesting a deep tissue massage on their tail base. They're responding to a nerve signal that happens automatically, the same way your leg kicks when a music doctor taps your knee. Here's the part that matters. There's actually one thing most owners skip entirely when they go to pet their music cat. A small ritual that quietly tells your cat you understand their language. Get this right and the way they respond to your hand changes completely. I'll show you exactly what it is at the end of this video. Music, and once you see it, you won't be able to unsee how often you've been skipping it. For now, the fix is simple. Stay away from the tail base unless your cat specifically presents it to you. And even then, keep it to a few seconds. Music, watch for the tail twitch. The second you see it, your hand stops. That's not rejection. That's your cat trusting you enough to tell you when enough music is enough. 2. Patting your cat like a dog is a mistake. Have you ever caught yourself giving your cat a few quick pats on the head or side, music the same way you'd greet a dog? It feels affectionate, it feels playful. And honestly, your cat probably just sits there and takes music it, so you assume it's fine. But here's the thing. Sitting there and taking it is not the same as enjoying it. And the way cats are wired, that music, quick patting motion isn't reading to them the way you think it is. Dogs evolved as pack animals with rough physical play built into how they bond. A firm pat on the side actually mimics the kind of contact they'd get from other dogs, and their nervous system reads it as music, social, energetic, even fun. Cats are the opposite. Cats aren't an inherently tactile music species. When they do touch each other affectionately, it's through slow, sustained contact. They press, they rub, they lean. Their entire touch language is built around steady pressure, not impact. So when you music pat your cat, even gently, their nerves register each tap as a tiny startle. The cat doesn't flinch outwardly because they've learned you're not a threat, but internally their body is bracing every time your hand comes down. Over weeks and months, this is one of the quiet reasons cats start ducking away when hands move toward their head. They're not mad at you. Their body just learned to expect music, the impact. This connects to a research study from the University of Lincoln led by Dr. Sarah Ellis, which tested music, 34 cats across 8 different body areas. The results were clear. Cats consistently responded most positively to slow focus contact around the cheeks, chin and forehead. The areas packed with music, scent glands, touch near the tail base produced the most negative reactions. Patting doesn't exist in their natural touch vocabulary at all. So no matter how gentle you are, it always reads as foreign. The fix here is almost embarrassingly easy. Trade the pat for music, a press. Instead of tap, tap, tap on the head, rest your fingers against their cheek and let them push into your hand. Instead of patting their side, run a slow, flat palm down their back one time and music pause. You'll feel the difference in their body almost immediately. They stop bracing, they lean in. That's what enjoying your touch actually looks like. And hey, hit that like button and subscribe so we can help more cat owners understand what their hands are really saying. 3. Never pet your cat while they're asleep. Your cat is curled up on the couch, eyes music shut, completely relaxed, and you walk by and give them a little stroke because how could you not? They look so peaceful, so soft. It feels like the most harmless thing in the world. What if that one little touch is quietly undoing the safest moment music of their entire day? Here's something most owners never think about. Sleep is the most vulnerable state your cat ever enters. In the wild, a sleeping cat is a dead cat. Every music part of their biology knows this. So when your cat finally closes their eyes in your home, they're not just napping, they're making a decision. They're telling their own nervous system, this place is safe enough to shut down. That's not a small thing. That's the deepest music, form of trust a cat can offer. Now think about what happens when you touch them mid-sleep. Their system was fully powered down and your hand just forced it into emergency mode. Heart rate spikes, muscles tense, pupils blow wide. Even if they music, see it's just you and settle back down, the damage is already done at the neurological level. Their brain just logged this. I was unconscious and something touched me. Do that enough times and your cat stops entering deep sleep around you altogether. They'll nap, sure, but that full body side exposed, dead to the world kind of sleep music, that starts disappearing. And most owners never connect the two. Cats sleep anywhere from 12 to 16 hours a day, and they need uninterrupted cycles to music to regulate everything from mood to immune function. When those cycles keep getting broken by a well-meaning hand, your cat becomes more irritable, more reactive, and harder to read. Not because something is wrong with them, but because they're chronically underrested in the one place they're supposed to feel the safest. The rule here is simple and it costs you nothing. If your cat is asleep, admire them from a distance. Let them wake up on their own, and when they do, let them come to you. 4. Why two-hand petting hurts their trust. Have you ever been petting your cat with one hand and it's going music? Great, so you bring in the second hand to really give them the full experience. Both hands on the cheeks or one hand scratching the chin while the other strokes down music their back. It feels like you're doubling the love, but have you noticed what happens next? They freeze, their ears shift, and within seconds they're gone. You're sitting there with two empty hands thinking, but music, you were just enjoying it. So what went wrong? Here's what you need to understand about how cats' music process physical space. For most cats, especially one still building trust with you, being touched from both sides doesn't feel like double the love. It feels like losing their exit. It doesn't matter that your hands are gentle. What matters is that their body is now boxed in. And the second that music happens, every good feeling they had about the interaction gets overwritten by one primal signal. I can't leave. Now music, if you have a cat who's deeply bonded with you, the kind who flops belly up on your lap and goes limp the moment you touch them, two hands might genuinely feel fine to them. Music, some cats reach a level of trust where that escape route simply doesn't matter anymore. But here's the thing, music, those cats are the exception, not the rule. And even with them, that trust was built by months or years of you proving your hands were safe. For every other cat, and that includes most cats, two hands is where the session ends, even if it doesn't look like it. Cats don't music just consent to being touched. They need to be able to revoke that consent at any second. Music, even between two cats who love each other, one will groom the other, and the receiver always has room to stand up and walk away. The moment that option disappears, the interaction stops being affection and starts being restraint. This lines up with a research study from Nottingham Trent University, led by Dr. Lauren Frinker, which found that giving cats choice and control during music, physical interactions made them significantly less aggressive and more affectionate. The moment you take that control away and two hands landing on a cat's body does music, exactly that, the interaction stops being a bonding moment and becomes something they need to survive. The fix is simple. One hand always let the other side of their body stay free. 5. The greeting ritual most owners skip. Remember earlier when I said music, there's one thing most owners skip that quietly tells your cat you don't speak their language. This is it. And once you see it, you're going to realize you've been skipping it every single day. Think about what happens when you walk up to your cat. You reach down, you start petting, maybe you go straight for the head, maybe the back. Either way, your hand lands on their body before they've had any say in it. To you, that's hello. To your cat, that's a stranger walking up and putting their hands on your face without asking. It doesn't matter how many years you've lived together. Every single time your hand approaches, your cat's brain is running the same assessment. Is this safe? Here's what most people don't know. Cats have a greeting ritual they use with every cat they music trust. When two bonded cats meet, they don't just walk up and start grooming each other. They approach slowly. They stop at a short distance, and they extend their nose forward. The other cat meets them halfway. They touch noses. They exchange scent. And only after that mutual check-in music does any physical contact happen. Every time, no exceptions. It's not a preference. It's hardwired into how they establish that an interaction is safe before it starts. The human version of this is so simple it almost feels too easy. Instead of reaching down and petting your cat, music, extend your hand slowly and hold it still a few inches from their face. That's it. Don't move it. Don't wiggle your fingers. Just hold it there and wait. Music, what happens next tells you everything. If your cat leans forward and bumps your hand with their nose or presses their cheek into your fingers, music, that's a yes. That's them completing the greeting. Now you can pet them, and the entire interaction starts from a place music of consent instead of assumption. If they sniff and pull back or just look away, that's a no. Not forever, just right now. And respecting that no is the single fastest way to make your cat music. Trust your hands more tomorrow than they did today.